We are tasting the Bellevue Reserve Collection Pinotage. Of the 4 different Pinotage wines we produce, this is probably the biggest one. Biggest in the sense of normally a little bit higher in alcohol, normally a little bit higher in extract, and just a slightly bolder wine. I think the difference how we end up with a wine in this style is from every vintage I pick the best parcel of grapes that comes to the winery. That fermentation in the end gets allocated to the production of this wine. It's not the same block every year. We keep our options open because it normally falls from within 3 different blocks, and the vintage will determine which one is used in that specific year. It gets special treatment in the barrels. They're all French coopers. They are tight grain barrels that allows the contact between the wood and the wine to happen slowly and gradually over the 22 to 23 months of barrel maturation. All our Bellevue Pinotage wines share a certain part of the aromatic profile. They overlap to an extent, and obviously to a degree there are differences. In the case of the Reserve Collection, it's cedarwood, plums, and I would say a darker version of the fruit that you find in our other Pinotage wines. The markets out there sometimes want more concentrated, slightly heavier, slightly bigger wines. This is as big as we are willing to go. We do believe that Pinotage should always retain elegance and poise in the end product. Our style is such that with the old vines that we use, you always get that beautiful balance between the fruit, the acid and the tannin, which make for wines that mature beautifully and, despite their elegance, show great staying power for wines that you want to put away in your cellar and savor many years later. Pinotage makes for a great wine to have with red meat. I think in the case of the Reserve Collection, with that level of concentration and focus, your little bit richer dishes, oxtail, maybe a ribeye, maybe a rack on the bone, also works well with lamb, but my favorite would still be beef.